Hi, welcome to Big Sexy Chat. I'm Chrystal.
I'm Merf.
Hi, Merf.
Hi, Chrystal. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Your eyebrows are fire, sister. They look so good.
Thank you. I went with a smoky eye today.
It's beautiful. See, I just can't.
Makeup.
I just don't do. I have that those hooded lids. I have the hardest time.
Yeah, same here. I have I learned a different contouring method for almond shaped eyes, and it's worked really well for me. So it's just a lot of I know I never get the wing right, so one side's always way longer than the other, and so I just hardly ever do smoky eye.
Well, it looks fantastic. I'll have to get you to send me how to do that. Because my eyebrows, my eyelids don't show any eyeshadow because it folds up into my eye. But yours looks amazing. So, anyway, Happy New Year, Merv. Happy New Year to our listeners as well.
Yes, Happy New Year, everyone. 2023.
We took a little break after our last episode. This is the beginning of season 2. We launched on Valentine's Day last year, so it's just been a little under a year. And so far, so good. What do you think, Merv? It's fun, right?
I think it's been a blast, and getting to meet so many other interesting people and learn more about you. It's been fun.
Speaking of learning about each other, a lot of people ask, are you guys together in the same room? Like, we're not even in the same town. So I thought it'd be fun to interview each other. So let's launch into that. We're going to interview each other. Then we're going to do our normal current events, hot topics, and then we have some cool mail, and then Merf has a sex toy that she's not that fond of, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So do you want to kick us off, Merf?
Absolutely. Okay. So my first question to you is, what got you involved in the sexual wellness industry?
It's kind of interesting. I went to a pleasure party. I was excited. I was definitely one of the older ladies in the room because they're younger girls. They were in their 20s. And, us old girls sat in the back. And the presenter was adorable. She looked like a little stripper. She had heels on and a short skirt and knee socks and dressed like crazy and beautiful car and all these sex toys billowing out of the back of the car she had the top down. And I was like, oh, this is going to be good. This lady, she looks knowledgeable. And then it took a real hard left turn. And this woman could not say penis or vagina. No clitoris, no culo, no anus, nothing. She kept saying, well, this one, you use it down there. And I was like, what? Hank, question? Where down there? I'm like, why are you out slinging dildos if you can't say penis and vagina?
Yeah. Pick the wrong field.
Totally. So I had brunch with my book club the next day, and they're like, Chrystal, you could talk about anal sex with total strangers in the middle of the day, stone cold sober. You should do that. I was like, I was just gotten laid off, and I decided to start my own company doing pleasure parties all over the Bay Area, and that's all I did for 10 years.
That's wild.
I slang some dildos.
I want to hear so many of the stories of just different people's houses and what you walk into. I know you've told some, but man, we got to make a whole episode just about going through those stories.
It's wild. I was just telling one of my clients today, because now I do electrolysis and she's a nurse. I go, oh man, nurses doing a pleasure party for nurses. Whoa. Those ladies see everything, or men and women, and nothing scares them. Nothing is off limits. They nothing about the human body could surprise them. And they've seen people with weird stuff up their butt in the ER. So nothing could possibly faze them. I think nurses are so amazing. They're like angels on earth, but when they party, they party. Yeah. And these one ladies used to have a party with me every year, and they would have their gays there as their bartenders, and they would make them a drink called a dirty whore. Okay.
I love it.
They would get wasted, but they have to be very upstanding citizens most of the day. They have to be on point and professional, but when they let their hair down, good Lord, they let their hair down.
Yeah. Oh, I used to go to a big holiday parties with the emergency room department and the nurses, and oh, wow. I mean, I've seen people half naked on stage singing "Me So Horny." I mean, it's just and the crowd going wild and crowd surfing, and yeah, they know how to get down.
Oh yeah, this one party. I used to have this toy. I used to leave it for the last. It was like the big, because it was called the Pearl Thunder. It was like a rabbit, but it was fat. It was really girthy, and it had a purple light inside of it, and it kind of had a little thing that swung around, so to kind of get to touch the walls of your vagina. And so it was like, ta-da, my last toy, and then I put all my samples away and go take orders. And as I was trying to pack up after like 6 hours at this party with these nurses, I hear this knocking on the back of my window, Chrystal, dildo lady. And I go, what? You forgot your Pearl Thunder. And it was like in 3 pieces. And I was like, I don't know where that's been, so y'all keep it. I'll just replace it. Because I can't sell something that maybe somebody did something with.
Yeah.
It was like a $180 toy, too. Wow. Yeah. And nurses have money, so they spend a lot on sex toys. It was great. But that's how I got into the universe of sexual wellness, and then it just kind of went from there. And that was 2003 was when I launched my pleasure party business.
That's awesome. That's great.
20 years.
Woo. Okay, so what is your most commonly used fat life hack?
This is going to sound funny. When you wear lingerie, there's usually not a lot of support. So I have been known to take some of my Lane Bryant bras that have the big hard cups and like cut out a quarter, like a little bit at the top. So it would make like a shelf bra, but for like heavy boobs. And I would wear that under my lingerie. So my nipples and stuff could still be available for fun, but they would hold up, and your boobs always look good, pushed up, and then put my lingerie over that. And I was like, I've made videos about it. I've taught people how to do it. I've written blogs about it because, I used to own a lingerie store for fatties, and people always ask me, what do you do for support? Because when you wear lingerie, your boob's like, bam, right? Pointing to your belly button.
Right.
So that's my favorite hack. I use it I use it at least once a weekend.
That's fantastic.
Once or twice a weekend, maybe.
Okay, so what is your favorite sexual aid?
I like this bullet that pulses and escalates. It's called the 5-speed bullet. Speed 2 and speed 3 are kind of like like the rhythm of sex, like the beat of sex, And I love that one a lot. I can place it on my clitoris, and I can usually hold it in even doggy style if I wear a thong with it or a G-string. And then we like that one a lot. And I like and also it's fun to give him the remote control sometimes. So let's say I'm going down on him or whatever, he has the remote control and I don't know what he's going to do to it with the bullet. It's like a bullet. It looks like a little egg that vibrates. It takes a 9-volt battery. I like that one a lot. Yeah.
When it needs a 9-volt battery, it's got some behind it. That's
either that or it plugs into the wall, right?
Right, exactly. Okay, so what would you say contributed to your confidence about sex? And also, same question, but about your body.
About sex, I'm going to chalk it up to having a lot of unconditional love when I was growing up, and a lot of support, and a lot of, you could do whatever you want to do. You can be whoever you want to be kind of stuff from my parents and I was kind of raised by my whole family. It does take a village, right? So when we were very close with my aunties and my uncle, so they all kind of raised me. And, my aunties and uncles, they were kind of like hip and young and, like they were like the shit in the 70s and they used to go disco dancing and all that stuff. So I think they just all kind of gave me the idea that there's nothing to be ashamed of when it comes to sex. And I learned that there's no shame in your body. Your fat body is capable of doing every single thing a thin person's body can do, for the most part. Sometimes you might have to, make some accommodations, but where there's a will, there's a way. So I think those two things and also so much unconditional love just gave me a lot of confidence and I got rid of my fear. I think that helped me to not be fearful of things. And if I failed, then I would always have a support system. And then, you learn more when you fail. And I failed at a lot of things, but yeah. I think I've made this pretty clear. I don't really love it when people ask me where I get my confidence, but if the person is also a fellow fat person and they're just looking for, the clue, the key, I'm not offended. I love to talk to fatties about this, but when somebody thin asks me, I'm like so rude. Like Gabrielle Sibidet said, when nobody asks Halle Berry when she gets her confidence, as she's flying away on her private jet, laughing all the way to the bank.
Exactly.
So I think that's pretty much what. And then, since I own the lingerie store, I did a lot of coaching, and so the more you coach other people, the more it kind of really gets ingrained in your own head, right? It's okay to have the sex with the lights on at noon. You don't have to hide anything. You don't have to camouflage anything. If you do, you got some inner work to do, or you have a crappy partner.
Absolutely agreed. It was good. That was a good answer, Chrystal.
Thank you.
Okay, and since we're always asking folks to buy us a cup of coffee, hint, hint, throw us some change.
Yeah.
How do you take your coffee?
I don't drink coffee.
Whoa!
I know. I'm so weird. Like, I love the way the beans smell at the grocery store. I mean, you know that scene in Elf when he drinks coffee for the first time and he spits it out? That's me. I think it's nasty, weird water. But to get my caffeine, so the reason I don't drink coffee mainly is because I'm super sensitive to caffeine. I buy myself sweet tea. I think it's from Lipton, maybe one of those companies. And I drink about an ounce every day, but before 9 a.m. Because if I drink it after 9 a.m., forget it. I'll be buzzing around the house and cleaning and writing blogs, and it's bad. Caffeine in me. But when I need it as a drug and it works, I need to be pumped up, caffeine. But I always go iced tea.
Nice. Okay. I love a good iced tea. So
yes.
Yeah, that's fair. You can buy us iced tea or coffee.
Or coffee. That's right.
Well, that's all.
I was going to say, we should thank Nancy. Nancy, through our website, she gave us a tip and she gave us $3 to all three of us. So $15. Thank you, Nancy. If you're listening, I hope you are.
Thanks, Nancy. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so my turn. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
There were two questions that Asherly threw out for us. So do you want me to ask you those as well?
Sure.
Okay. What is your go-to method to drive your partner wild?
Oh, a very well lubricated finger, doing a lot of exploring while my mouth and hand are also very well lubricated, doing sort of like 2 or 3 things at once. So in the oral sex for my partner, getting both of my hands involved and getting the gooch, the taint involved, and the balls, of course, and then the penis. So that usually is going to done. What about you?
Yeah, that's the pretty fantastical go-to for me.
Yeah.
I think whenever I do it hits the back of my throat and kind of goes down my throat and I kind of gag, that seems to work wonders well too. Okay, and the second question is, what part of your body do you love the most that society tells you you're not supposed to love?
Probably my hips. I like my hips. I'm lucky enough to kind of have like a little bit of a curve, like my waist tends to be a little bit smaller than my hips. So I kind of have a little bit of that hourglass, not a lot, but a little. Excuse me. I don't really love my tummy, only because our big tummies are not celebrated in our culture. But I have a big booty and big hips, and the big booty is definitely celebrated in our culture right now. Yeah. But yeah. What about you? What part of your body do you like the most that people would say you shouldn't?
There's just so many parts. I mean, the butt definitely. I think the little hip dips that I get the little extra roll of fat on the side, so it doesn't make it that perfect round. Yeah. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're not supposed to like that. It's supposed to be perfectly round." And I just kind of, I don't know. I like kind of squeezing it every once in a while. I know my husband likes squeezing it, so
yeah,
that seems to be my favorite part.
Yeah, I call it my shelf.
Nice.
It's kind of the reason why I can't lay flat on tables, like if I go get a facial or massage, because of my shelf, I have to put my feet up and my knees kind of bent. But yeah, my partner loves my shelf, so I like it too. And it does, I mean, I love it already, but I find that it also does give you a little more confidence when you also have someone else who worships it and loves it.
Oh, absolutely agreed. Yeah. I think that that's one of the things where it really helps you get more comfortable with it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Who else is enjoying it as well.
So Merf, what about you? Where were you born?
So I was born in Yuba City, California. And
Oh,
yeah, so it very small town. Well, like it's getting bigger, but that was the only hospital in town. But I grew up in a smaller town called Olivehurst.
wow.
Yeah.
Do you know how much you weighed when you were born?
I want to say it was like 7 pounds something, but yeah.
On the smaller side, I was like 8.5.
Okay, nice.
But my sister and brother were bigger than me, but I paved the way because back in the old days when I was born, they would let you come out butt first and bent over. Nowadays, oh, wow. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
nowadays, they manipulate the baby until you get the legs or the head out.
Right.
So my mom likes to remind me of how many stitches she got every once in a while, maybe twice a year.
I can just imagine she's like, every time I cough, I think about that.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. So in high school, who'd you hang out with? Did you hang out with the smokers, the stoners, the theater kids, the choir kids? Like, what was your vibe in high school?
I didn't. So I had a very weird situation with high school. So
yeah?
I had a lot of medical problems when I was a kid. And so I went to an extremely small high school in the middle of what I call Hickville, USA. And so it was, it was like really, really bad. Like groups of white cowboys would get in their van with a Confederate flag and go screaming up and down the street, screaming, yelling, that kind of Hickville. So, I survived a year there, just kind of like on my own, and my headaches and medical stuff just got to the point where I just couldn't attend regular high school. So I started doing homeschool and graduated. I started going to college early so that I could get out of high school because I hated high school, and I really didn't hang out with anybody in high school. Once I got to college, I started hanging out with all kinds of people. That's where I met my best friend. So I've known her since I was like 16, which is really cool because it feels like high school, like that kind of thing. But yeah, I hung out with the nerds. Like the nerds got crazy on the weekends and did a lot of wild stuff. So that was my crew.
Hey man, nerds are really popular right now.
Yeah.
And they usually have really good jobs.
Yes.
So how old were you when you realized your body was different than everybody else's? Were you fat as a kid?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'd say probably when I turned like 7, I noticed that my body was different. My best friend growing up was like super, super thin, super, super tall for her age. It was, she was like everything I wanted to be, right? She had long hair. And, I just was like, ooh, I don't look like her. This is strange. And then as I started getting around more and more people, all the messages that I got were like, your body is different for sure. And it's a problem.
Yeah.
Probably different, but it's a problem. I've been reading Aubrey Gordon's book, and you just need to lose weight and 19 other myths about fat people. And some of the stuff that she's talking about in there, I'm just like, oh, if I had even had, someone in my life at that age that understood this and could have, explained this to me in a different way, but. Yeah, no, I got constant messages that my body was wrong.
Yeah, I remember one time when I was 11, the pediatrician, I weighed 111. The pediatrician in front of me told my mom that I was obese. I'll never forget that. I just, ugh. Okay, a couple more. When did you begin to appreciate your fat and become more confident with your fat?
Ooh, I would say in my mid to late 20s. I definitely started to like, so I had an eating disorder through part of that. So
Mm,
in my early 20s, I was starting to like gain weight back from the eating disorder. And
mm,
so I was in that phase where like the accepted amount of thickness in our society, right? So my 20s were like, oh, wow, look at her go. But then as I started to put on way more weight and things started to happen in my life, that changed very quickly. So I started to recognize, wow, okay, my body's different again. And if I'm going to sit here and be miserable about it, like I'm, I'm just going to make myself sick. Like there's just nothing, like I don't want to live my life like this. And just started to kind of see the plus size community popping up online and lots of BBW. That's been
yeah,
that's a big word for the start of that community.
yeah.
I think a lot of people still really hold on to it, but
Hmm.
yeah, so I just started to learn like my body has a lot of power and my body makes a lot of people uncomfortable and that's powerful. And um, why do I have to dislike all of these things? Little kids love giving me hugs. They
Yeah.
love, like, I remember hanging out with my husband's best friend's kids, and they were either side of me, and they were just like kittens, like touching my belly, like making little biscuits because they thought it was just so great. Um, but it's like those kind of things I started to learn to appreciate, and I was
Yeah.
like, wow, okay, like my body has way more of a purpose than just being fetishized by guys. And
Yeah.
I don't have to do this for anybody but me. So I just started to look at myself differently.
We're just so much more than our bodies, right? Everybody is so much more than their body. And yeah, I figured out that I was really strong, stronger than a lot of my friends. And then, yeah, very warm. I love to hug like you. And everybody was like, oh, hug me again, not necessarily kids, but my niece and nephew too. They kind of would do like what you're saying, but just people in general. And I'd give them like, oh, could I have one more? I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
sure, and, yeah, I don't know. I love hugging fat people too. So I get it, you know, I mean, hugging thin people's fine and all, but it's really different when you hug someone who's fat.
Yeah.
It's a lovely feeling.
Oh, it's so different. Just it feels like
Totally.
so, and yeah.
Hmm.
Same.
How old were you when you went on your first diet?
So probably when I was about 10. So my grandma, my mom's mom passed away and she watched me after school and stuff because both my parents worked. I was really close with her and she passed away. And my grandpa had passed away right before that. And so I started having to go to my father's mother's house. And she really did not like anybody of size
Yeah.
and made that very clear. And so I would get home after school and it was like, you're not getting a grilled cheese sandwich, even though that's what you got from your grandma. You're getting celery sticks and a Diet Coke with a slice of lemon. So that's when I really started to have the problem with food and recognize that, my diet, I mean, I think it has always been something just because my mom was plus everyone in my family has always been large. And so, it was diet culture watching my mom do that. And so having it really reinforced by my grandma, just blatantly like, listen, fatty, you're not going to get a man. I'm a fucking 10-year-old. Why do I care about getting a man? But yeah, it was, I think that was really when like it hit me of like, oh, and here's Snackwell's cookies and here's, I mean, it was just like any diet and every diet.
Yeah. Have you heard people say when you see the words low fat or non fat, that equals chemical shitstorm?
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's true. If you look at
So,
the snack wells, and I used to love them, but oh, why did I do that? No
oh,
more.
can you like what that's done to our bodies over the years? Just
No, no.
yeah.
I hate to even think about it. Okay, last question.
Okay.
What was your very first sex toy?
Ooh, okay. So I was 16 and I, like I said, I was homeschooled, so nobody else was really around.
Awesome.
So I used my mom's credit card and I bought a jelly. It was from Good Vibrations in San Francisco because I had heard all kinds of stuff about them.
Sure.
And it was that terrible jelly stuff that, they've gotten rid of now because it was so porous and, terrible. It was hunter green and it was a vibrator and it was probably like an 8-inch vibrator.
You go. You go, Merf.
I basically was like, what's the cheapest thing I can find?
Right.
So, yeah, I got that and never had an orgasm with that thing. Got close, but just couldn't, it didn't ever hit the spot. And I was just like, okay, well, this is not really fun, so I'm going to just get rid of this. I was better with my hands then.
Yeah. So the funny thing about sex toys, guess what the number one color is in the sales? Which one sells the best?
Pink?
Purple.
Purple.
And what I used to see with toys that sounds like what you had is that I would think it must be a man designing this, because anything that looked like an arrow or a penis, they would put the vibrator right near the handle where you're turning on and off. But then you got 7 more inches before you get to your clitoris. And when it's way down at the bottom where your hand is holding the turn dial, that's where the bullet is. That's in there to give the vibration. I need it on my clit. I don't know about you. I'm like, why is that so far away?
Exactly. Well, and then probably, I'd say like 5 years after that, Sex and the City came out with the rabbit. And then vibrators like that. And I found all kinds of good ones with that one.
Yeah, the Pearl Thunder was from that same company, related, just a little girthier than the rabbit.
I think I bought Pearl Thunder. I'm pretty sure I did.
It had pearls that rotated around like right at the midsection. Oh, man. It was fun to use with your partner, too. I think those old toys, and I'm surprised that, Good Vibrations ever did this, but we all did. But those toys were made petroleum-based. Yes. So it's really not, your vagina is a mucous membrane. So whatever you put in your vagina is like if you were putting it in your mouth. And yeah, probably causing lots of bad things out there to people that were using them because we didn't know.
Yeah.
And then women started moving into the manufacturing and design world in the sex toys, and then they got really good. That was because of Sex and the City, I'm pretty sure. Everybody wanted good stuff. And don't give me crap. I don't want that crap. I don't want anything from Spencer's or Walmart. Sorry.
Right. No, it's so true. And I get that for a lot of, especially young kids, like,
yeah,
I can go into Spencer's and, walk out with a toy kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's cool. I get it.
Sure. Yeah.
You've got to retire that shit real quick so that you can get onto the good stuff.
Exactly. There's so much good stuff now because so much of that is designed by women, because we know our bodies and they know their bodies. And plus women make up don't women make like 80% of the decisions about expenses and things being bought in the home or something like that?
It's a large amount.
Yeah. Women are the best consumer to market too, because they love to buy that crap. So much fun. I always love getting a new sex toy. So anyway, excuse me. Great.
No,
great. Good to know you better. Merf, everybody wants to know more about us. So I thought this would be a fun way to let everybody else know a little bit more about us. And, I think it's going to be fun for people to listen and learn more about each of us. And yeah, like I said earlier, they all think we're in the same town. We're like sitting next to each other, and I'm all the way here in San Jose. You're all the way out there in the, what do you call that area? Yeah. Sacramento area. And, we're 2 hours away by car.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Works out.
If we needed to be in person, we could.
Oh yeah, we could do that. No problem. Yeah. So let's talk about some current events. There's a lot going on in current events that affect and impact fat people. And then we'll do some, we have some mail, I know, and You'll talk about your sex toy. And then also I did a poll on our Facebook page asking people what they would like to hear more of from us. And the number one vote was dating while fat.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice. I was just talking to a friend of mine over the weekend, who's single and in the dating scene, and she's plus size, and hearing some of her stories, I'm just like, woo. Okay.
One of my most ever read and clicked articles I ever wrote was called "Don't Settle." Fat girls do not settle, and I wrote it for the Huffington Post. And yeah, you don't have to settle. Just want to let you know, you are perfect. You are enough. You have a vagina. You have a clitoris. You don't have to settle for those assholes or the people who think they're going to prey on us because we're fat and we're going to be easy. You couldn't freaking afford me. I'm so sorry. And never. I don't settle. No, just don't do it.
Yeah. I love it.
I know dating is rife with all kinds of issues. And I hear from my single friends what a shit show it is.
Exactly.
When I was dating, I just had this idea, well, whenever a date goes really bad, I'm going to have fodder for my social media and my blog. So I didn't worry about it too much, but I know not everybody has a thick skin like I do. So it's different for other people. So let's talk about what's going on in the current events for fat people, Merf.
I don't know if I want to.
I know. Well, we do know we have Aubrey's book, so that's some good news in the fat world. You Just Need to Lose Weight by Aubrey Gordon. She's one of the co-hosts of Maintenance. Oh, I just hit my microphone. Sorry. Co-host of Maintenance Phase. It's an amazing podcast if you're not listening to it. It's so good.
And I just want to say I'm about halfway through the book, and lots of really relevant questions that she asks after she provides the material so that you really critically think about what you've read and how you have to think about, the aspects of it personally. And she asks those questions, but it's a really easy read. It's definitely like when I'm going through it, I'm reading a chapter and it seems like, whoa, the chapter's done already. Like it's that quick. So I think you're really going to enjoy it. Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I was saying I do own the book. I just haven't started yet, but I'm hoping to start it tonight. And yeah. So that's some good news that's going on in the fatosphere. But then there's all the crap with the American Academy of Pediatrics and all this bullshit going on with a diabetes drug that diabetics need that they can't get because people are using it for weight loss.
Yeah.
Talk about a clusterfuck.
So I was looking into that, and it sounds like the two main folks that are really behind this Ozempic, I think that's how you say it, medication, which is meant to regulate your blood sugar, are Mindy Kaling and Kim Kardashian.
Good Lord.
I'd expect this from Kim Kardashian. I'm really disappointed about Mindy. I don't know. There's just so much negativity whenever I think of like, okay, this medication is required for a lot of people. It helps regulate their blood sugar. Yes, it's not going to end up, killing them if they don't get it or something like that. There are other options, but it just seems so petty to me. Am I thinking like the right word for this? Like, I just feel like, how petty is this that you don't need this? You're specifically trying to, fit into whatever it is that she's in, like a white dress or a pink dress, Barbie couture, I think is what they called it. And it's just like, I don't know. I really struggle with, now this will be something that will be mainstream that people will be asking their providers for. This is yeah, it's not something that is, should be utilized if you don't have an issue with regulating your blood sugar.
Yep. I have a friend who can't get it, and she takes it for her diabetes. So yeah, she had to switch, and it wasn't easy because just trying to getting on the Ozempic was like a ramp up because you get some nausea and stuff. And she did lose weight, but she wasn't trying to lose weight. It's just, and also, from what I understand, as soon as you stop taking it, you gain the weight back.
Yeah.
Most people lose 14 pounds. So I think it's pretty shallow and petty that you're taking a freaking pill that people need. You might lose 14 pounds. You're going to gain it all back when you stop taking it, but you're taking it out of the mouths of diabetics. But also, Elon Musk, our favorite, he also took it and lost 40 pounds. And he made it really popular in the tech world, and it's really popular on TikTok.
Wow.
So that's how people are learning about it. They to their doctors, I want that new diet drug. Guess what? It's never been tested for people on a diet. It wasn't made for that. It's like what do they call off-label?
Yeah. They just found out that that's a consequence that happens when you take it. Oh, now everybody's jumping on board to use it for the side effects.
Yeah, it was a byproduct. And then now it's, people want to take it because, Mindy Kaling, seems like she's been dieting a lot because she looks very different now. Very different and very small. So,
right.
I feel for her because she's still stuck on the hamster wheel of diet culture.
Right.
We know Kim Kardashian's always going to be on that one. But they're
I read Kim Kardashian and I just rolled my eyes and was like, of course. I'm surprised she's just like the representative for the medication, like the celebrity spokesperson.
So vapid.
That's the word, vapid.
I think she was taking it to lose weight to wear the Marilyn Monroe dress, which she ripped.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just doesn't even match the character. Like, you shouldn't even get to put on the dress.
No, really. I agree.
So that's very disappointing to hear that, medication is being used improperly for diet culture, weight loss reasons. That's really icky. But even more icky, have you heard about what the American Pediatrics Association is suggesting?
Merf, you think there's something wrong with putting 2-year-olds on a diet, Merf? Yeah, it's shocking.
It says that their newest regulation and guidelines are about nutrition support, physical activity treatment, behavioral health treatment, pharmacology, and metabolic and bariatric surgery.
Ugh.
So now if a kiddo age 13 or higher is struggling with their weight, supposedly, they're going to offer bariatric surgery because they've said that the long-term effects of not addressing obesity at that age will result in that person gaining even more weight. So let's just cut their stomach in half.
What does Reagan say? You amputate a perfectly good organ that works great, and then replacing it or taking it out and turning it into a diseased organ that you need. And I believe that a lot of the reason I don't like weight loss surgery, and I definitely don't like it for kids at all, but I believe a lot of what happens in our brain happens in our gut. And I think I know an inordinate amount of fat people because I had that boutique. So I know lots and lots, and I hear them always talking about weight loss surgery on social media and stuff. And the amount of things that go wrong that they don't tell you about. But I say, I'm sorry. I can't support you. I don't believe in weight loss surgery. I wish you well. You could do whatever you want with your body, but I'm going to have to hide you. I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to see your before and after. Because if it was about health, you wouldn't take a before and after.
That's right.
It's not about health. We already know. It's about how you look. And look, the world puts a lot of fucking pressure on us. So I understand when people, they think that's what they have to do. And again, agency, do what you want. But if someone ever asks me my opinion, should I do it or not, I'll say no every single time. People die from it all the time. But for kids, and then they're saying 2 to 12-year-olds, they're happy to put them on medication for weight loss to keep them thinner.
It hurts. It hurts because I think I would have been one of those kids. I would have been one of those kids that they would have been like, you know what, we're going to give you bariatric surgery. And I see the outcomes of so many people that I know that have had it, and they've not been good. And it hurts my heart to think that that's something that's totally acceptable because, the same people who say that say things like, you can't change a kid's body. They can't have transgender care. They can't have anything like
those people.
Yeah, it's the same kind of shit where it's like, what?
And this is the American Academy for Pediatrics. So a lot of people listen to them and do what they say, and it's so disgusting. I'm so disappointed. And also, hello, eating disorders. You're just like shoving your child into either disordered eating or an eating disorder. We know this. And also, if you ever read about what happens to weight loss surgery after year 2, you'd never have it either, because it's not pretty after 2 years of you having it. And sometimes it gets bad right away, but just go research what happens after 2 years. It's you see why the doctors don't share it, I guess nobody wants to be fat. They're so, I tell people, like, come on over to the dark side. It's not that bad over here. It's okay. I'm doing great. I'm having fun, and I'm not dieting.
Right.
But yeah,
right. Can you imagine what would happen if you really looked at this, every kid as an individual, and what are your genetics? What kind of environment are you growing up in? Is your neighborhood safe enough that you can go out and have physical activity? Are there resources in your community where that sort of thing is free?
Yeah.
Like, what's the transportation? Like, there's nothing being discussed about any of those things. It's just, oh, you're fat. We know this is going to be a problem for you, or we've decided this is going to be a problem for you. And so we're changing it now. And
people on the margins, of course, will be affected and impacted by this the most. We already know that. It's
absolutely.
And like you, I'm the same way with you, Merf. My people are big. It's not that I'm just like sitting around eating whatever. My people are big. We're big people. My mom's tall and big boned. All my family, I have like one auntie that's thin. Everybody else in my family looks just like me. Yeah. It's called genetics, I don't think we can be thin. I don't think, no matter how much restriction I would do, I don't think I can be thin. I don't think it's in my genetics.
Mm-mm. And there's no thin person inside of me trying to get out.
Yeah, no.
They really want to believe that.
That one needs to go away. Big time. Yeah. So crazy. Nope, not me neither, Merf. I'm not waiting around for anything. I'm just living my life. I'm living my best life. I'm having hot sex. I have a great partner. I love my job, my family. I have my problems just like everybody else, but I'm fat and everything seems to be okay. And I've been fat since the 3rd grade, so. Exactly. Like it's not going anywhere. I'm 40 years old. I've always been around, looking like this or some version of this. Like it's same. Yes. And thin was when I basically was close to death. So, it's like, you have to get realistic, and that's the impressionable age. That's an age where we're talking about identity and trying to figure out really who they are. And if you're going to be like, well, guess what? We're going to make everything about your weight. Oh, I have no idea how that's going to affect them as they grow up. Yeah. That's why I still have a job as a therapist. Right? Yeah. And do you know how many people I know that have weight loss surgery twice and they're fat again? Yeah. It's a really high number. Really high number. Yeah. It's not the panacea, and it's not going to be the panacea for kids either. And just love your kids. That's all they need. Just unconditional love and affection, and just do your best as far as, not everybody can go buy organic shit. Some people have to buy whatever the closest grocery store has, and not everybody has money for fancy foods like that. Sometimes they the cheaper food is the, food that can tend to be higher in calories and stuff. But, hey, we all need them. We all need calories. Our brain needs carbs. So, yeah, please, no. Eggs are $9 right now. I know. You got to be kidding me that you think that, it has to just do with, it's just about what you put in your body. It's like, well, no, it's not. And calories in, calories out. It's not how it works. No, and nobody's safe from a $9 eggs. Like, you're not having, a very well-balanced meal if that's what the cost of just regular, the state you need in your life. No doubt. Crazy. Ridiculous. Oh, yes. Well, let's move on to the mailbag. Diet culture sucks.
Yes, it does.
Okay, yeah, I know. I heard we have a really juicy question from one of our listeners.
So we had someone reach out and share that she is around 50 years old, and she has not recently, it's been a couple of years since she's had a divorce, and she is interested in getting back out in the dating scene and was curious if we have any tips or tricks or know of anything that would give her a boost.
Oh, yeah. I think I told this story before when I was dating about my partner and I took like a little 3 months break. We call it our reboot. And I went on 7 first dates. And what I think I told you all is that when I set up my profile, I put my fattest picture in there. This is me. I'm fat, really fat. Like I'm fat. Fatty, fat. And like I just said right up from the first sentence, I'm a fat person. If that turns you off, please just swipe left or whatever. And then I said, also, sex is really important to me. If you're not a sexual person, I might not be the person for you. Just because I said I'm a sexual person doesn't mean I'm going to have sex with you. It's really difficult to get me in bed. I just don't have sex with just anybody. And I'm really fat. Let me just remind you, I'm really fat. And if that is a problem for you, don't waste our time. So I would say being super honest if you're going to do online dating or if you're going to get on the apps. That helps.
Absolutely. No, I think that's one of the biggest things that you can do in general when dating is just be transparent.
Absolutely.
You know, obviously you're not giving away everything, but you're going to be very clear about who you are and what you're looking for, because why waste your time? This isn't a game. You're not, I'm not going to sit here and send nude pictures back and forth with you. Like, I'm not here for a 10 p.m. Hey, are you alone? Can I come over?
Sup.
Yeah.
Sup. 2 a.m. Sup.
Bring that booty, BTB, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're not talking hookup culture. So, I think a big part of that is just being authentic and really sharing what it is that you're looking for and being clear about that. If you want to start out slowly and be friends and whatever, great. Write that down. If you want to just hook up and be like, hey, let's get together. I like this kind of sex, blah, blah, blah. Do it. Like, just be clear. That would be my first line of advice.
Yeah, there's no shame in just hooking up with a friends with benefit. That's what you want to do. Go for it. Why not? The more sex you have, the better you get at it. Experience is everything when it comes to your sex life. So yeah. And taste the rainbow.
Yeah. And I think part of that too is, where you meet somebody, like you said, online dating and things like that. I think a big part of that too could just be if you find a hobby that you like and you start engaging in that community, like look for things that are like online Reddits or Facebook forums, or even like you said, Chrystal, you have a book club, like if somebody had something that you enjoy and you start frequenting those places or learning more about those people in that culture, you're going to have more opportunity to date people that are interested in the same things that you are, and you're not having to swipe left or right.
Right. One of my clients told me this story about how, first of all, she's a badass. She's a PhD. She has a killer job. She's the neatest person. No intimacy or any kind of snuggling or anything like that for over 5 years. She's on disability right now because she had an event happen. It kind of brought up her PTSD, yada, yada. So she's on disability for 3 months. She decides to get back on the apps because she wants to have somebody for some companionship. So she's swiping, and she sees this guy, and she's like, man, we match in so many ways. They both come from the Hispanic culture. They have like Hispanic parents. They both have the same experiences with their parents. Parents were very strict, yada, yada, yada. Then she notices he's on disability, and she's like, oh. And then she's like, oh, wait, I'm on disability too. And she was like, I had to check my ego because here I am thinking, oh, you're on disability. I'm not going to date you. I'm a PhD, blah, blah, blah. She goes, wait, oh yeah, I'm on disability. Maybe his story is exactly like hers, So just try things. Try not to get too hung up on, what your type is and stuff. Like my type, someone who treats me like a goddess. That's my type. That's all. I don't settle for anything less, and just don't settle. It's not worth it. I'd rather be home alone and lonely than be sitting right next to a person and lonely. So don't settle.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. And I'm sure, we're going to, obviously, it sounds like people want to hear more about this topic.
Yeah.
So we are definitely going to come back around and have this discussion. But I think the biggest thing is at 50, or anywhere near that. I mean, I'm 40 years old and I'm just like, I'm not going to waste my fucking time. Like,
hell no.
I'm doing this. I'm going all out, just like you said. Like, here's what it is. Here's what I'm looking for. You want to go or no? Like, I don't have time to waste.
Nope. Take it or leave it. Don't waste my time.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
And I think part of that too is you can find specific, like there's more and more specific dating sites now that fit certain genres or certain ages. So if you were looking for things particular, like you can get specific that way too.
Yeah. There's even dating sites for people that like to smoke pot. There's dating sites for people who have herpes, which is a skin disease, y'all. You're never going to die from herpes, so don't freak out. But a lot of people have it. So, and they know when they go on a date, they have to have the talk, especially if they're going to be intimate. And so if you go on a herpes site, no talk. Everybody already knows we both have herpes. So there's a lot of affinity sites now too. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I love that you can, get into that little niche genre that you like and explore it. That's
absolutely. Yeah. We'll definitely get somebody on to come on and tell us which are the apps that people are using now. And I don't know. I know there's certain apps that are better for people of size. Not sure what they are though. Cause I'm not dating.
Yeah. Me neither. Yeah. What is it?
Woo.
Woo Plus. Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Oh, Merf, I forgot. There is one site I know for sure that's just for people of size. It's called Woo Plus. I don't know anybody that's used it, but anyway, I remember that. So just
Woo.
FYI. Woo.
W-O. Woo. Woo Plus. Okay.
Nice.
Well, I want to share with you the vibe of the week.
Okay. Yes, I want to hear all about it. It sounds really fascinating based on what little I saw you talk about on our thread. But some sex toys are fabulous and some sex toys are not, and you don't know until you get it home.
That's right. The problem is with that grab bag of if you don't know if it's good or not, you can't return it.
No.
You return it, obviously.
No returning sex toys, thank God.
And you can't really give it away. Like I'm gonna ask and see if anybody wants that. But anyway,
maybe your close circle of girlfriends might you say I'm gonna clean it, you clean it, should be fine. But exactly. Merf, I swear to you, when I had my boutique, people would ask me how they could return their sex toys. I'm like, aren't you thrilled that I don't accept returns? So when you buy a toy from me, it's not a return. They're like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. Well, this is from, and I'm going to say it wrong. I pronounce things so wrong. Maya Novelties. It's MAIA.
I think they say Maya.
Maya? Okay.
But I could be wrong.
So this is the Destiny. And I'm going to put it up here so you guys can maybe back it up a little bit. Okay. So this one I got because it has a little vibrating tongue and it has suckage. And I was like, ooh, that sounds interesting. I think I want to get that. So I don't know if you can see right there, but the head has that little tongue piece right there. And then this sucks over. And then this part can be used as an actual, the stem of it can actually be used as, a dildo if you wanted to, which I think that's probably the only use I'm going to have for it anymore.
Yeah.
So it has 15 functions. It has the vibrating tongue, has suction, and then it's also submersible. So you can take it with you in the bathtub. So I bought this thinking that sounds like something that would be kind of fun, a little different.
It does sound intriguing.
Right? I'm like, okay. So I'm at the Hustler store and I'm talking to the guy and I'm like, okay, so can I try it? Like just to see the section on it. He's like, oh yeah, yeah. So he puts it on the section mode and puts it on the center of the palm of my hand. And it's like so sectiony that I'm like, whoa, okay. And he's like, well, that is the high setting. So I'm like, okay. So I put it on low and I'm like, all right, this is nice. Like, okay, yeah, I think that would be fun. Get it home and charge it up, USB cable, right? Charge it up. And excuse me, pineapple. There we go. I put it on my clit and I was instantly like yelling, like, oh, get it off. Like it was so sectiony that I literally felt like it had given me a hickey.
That's a lot of suction.
It's a lot of section. So I was like, okay, so direct clit stimulation is not for me. Let's try it on the labia. And again,
wow.
And I'm like, okay, this is the lowest setting. Like, okay, maybe if I put it up to a higher setting, like it'll have the vibration and everything and it won't. No, I mean, it was like, holy crap. There's so much blood drawn to the surface by this thing because it like attaches and sucks.
You are a warrior. You're like, I'm going to try everything. Was it expensive?
It was $88.
That's a lot. It's the better part of $100 bill.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm really I can't just be like one and done. Like I got to try it out and like see. No. And the little tongue thing, it feels good, but it sucks so hard up against it that it's like you get the harder part of it, the thicker part of it, rather than the tip of the tongue. Mm-hmm. So it's a no from me.
Merf, did you try it on your nipples at all?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Did you try it on your partner at all, like on his shaft or his testicles?
No.
You might, just for fun.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, I may have to come back and review this again because wait, I want to say that I did put it on my nipple and it was still pretty intense. I want to say that I did.
Your nipples got hiccupied?
Yeah. Well, it's like what Ashley said, like it was a clicky.
Yeah. Man, I hate hickeys. They're so disgusting. I can't stand them. But yeah, I know what you mean. I that's how my first experience with the womanizer. I was like, on, done, off. Holy shit. Then I had to learn to turn it down and tone it down. But yeah, that sounds really intense. Wow.
They weren't, if you want a toy that sucks, like not sucks bad, but like
suction, yeah.
And is your thing. This Destiny is the thing. You should get it.
They should call it like the Aardvark or something like that.
Seriously. That would be great. Yeah. No, it is. It lives up to everything that it's supposed to do. It's just not the sensation that I prefer.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for the warning. I don't have it on my website, so I don't sell it, but only just because I just haven't added the Maya products to my website. But yeah, if you want to look at, I have the Satisfier and the Womanizer toys on my website, blissconnection.com. And if you spend more than $85, I actually do free shipping.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, everybody loves free shipping.
Definitely.
I want to go back to one thing about when we were talking about the American Academy of Pediatrics. I wanted to let people know, if you don't already follow Reagan Chastain, she has an amazing Substack and a blog. And I wanted to give you all the URL for her Substack because she's going to write about this in several different articles. And of course, she's livid. And she thinks it's very irresponsible and maybe even malpractice, So it's a weird one. I'll put it in the notes too, but it's weightandhealthcare.substack.com. And she's really great at digging out statistics and being able to regurgitate them so like people like me understand them. And so I highly recommend anything she puts out there. And she's she's out there advocating for all of us and for fat kids, all of us. I mean, all of us. And yeah, so I love her Substack. I get it in my email, and it's good stuff always. So love her.
Yeah, she's incredible. Yeah. I'm so glad that we had her on, and
I know.
we hope to have her on again. She's just so informative, and I really appreciate the work that she does for our community.
Yeah, I think when we do medical fat phobia, we should have her, maybe Marilyn Wan, on to talk about strategies for dealing with a-hole nurses and PAs and doctors.
Yep. Sounds great.
I want to make sure that we don't forget to shout out to our sponsor, Liberator, and we have a drawing. What'd you say, Merf?
I said, hi, Liberator.
Yeah, we're giving away one of their ramp wedges. And the ramp wedge that they're giving away for us, is made for plus size bodies. So they have lots of different products, but they make this one a little more stout, a little wider for our butts and hips and tummies. And it's like $250 product, and it's worth every penny. All their products are. But yeah, if you go to our website, BigSexyChat.com, you can just, as long as you add your email to our email address, we only send 2 newsletters a month, sometimes 3 if there's something extra special going on. And you can unsubscribe anytime. So we're not going to spam you. It's just when we have new episodes out or something special going on. So yeah, go there, sign up. And also, do you have the flyer in front of you for our giveaway? Is our hashtag BigSChat?
BigSChat.
Okay. So the other piece of this, right, is if you go and share something on Facebook or Instagram and you use that hashtag BigSChat, you get 5 more entries into the drawing. So it's worth it to do that. And basically, we want you to tell people about our podcast because we want to keep doing this and we love it. And we love your feedback because we want to hear from you. What do you want to hear from us?
Yeah, and I can tell you, we own these, the ramp and the wedge. I have the black label, which is the plus size with the actual cuffs that you can do it. And it's amazing. Like that thing, it is worth the sending it out to your group on Instagram or Facebook with that hashtag BigSChat because it is worth the money and the opportunity.
I agree. And they're easy to clean. All the covers come right off. They don't shrink in the dryer. You could put it right back on. It's not difficult. It's not like, trying to fold a fitted sheet or anything like that. It's simple. The zippers are big and heavy duty and thick, and they've thought of everything. They've been around forever. And yeah, easy to clean. You can even keep it out. It doesn't look pornographic or anything. So only people that know will know. But nobody else knows going to use. Maybe it's for yoga. They don't know. Unless they know.
Those are the kind of friends you want around anyway.
What do they say? There's that one saying, like, everything's a sex toy if you're brave enough.
That's right.
Don't put anything in your butt if it doesn't have a flared end, though, okay?
Exactly. And no nurse will believe you if you go in saying, I don't know what happened.
I fell on it. Dude, if I could fall on anything, it will never go up my butt. I tell you right now. It's not going to go up there accidentally. It's just, there's no way.
No. Things don't actually go up your butt.
You have 2 sphincters, and if you have no lube, it's not going up there.
Exactly.
It's just not. It's not. But nobody believes you. We all know. But like, there are things that you can buy for your butt. What's that, Ashley? Yeah, I'm watching it. Thank you. We're about to wrap up. So what was I saying? Okay, so yeah, there's like online stores. You could go buy butt plugs. You could go to your local store, buy a butt plug, buy things that are specific for your butt. You can listen to our August episode last year. August is anal sex month, so we did a whole episode about your booty.
That's right. Yeah, because you do not want to be putting something up there that does not need to go up there.
Yeah, that's a vacuum back there, so anything you put in there gets sucked right in. So don't do it. Don't do it.
I love that you did the sound effect with it that way.
I've had one experience to tell y'all about sometime, and it was, I kept imagining the X-ray. I was like, oh, this is going to be so good for my blog, but not good for me. Anything else, Merf? Or is that it for tonight?
Just buy us a cup of coffee.
Yeah, and you can email us at sexy@BigSexyChat, and then go to BigSexyChat if you want to enter our drawing, or just read our blog and listen to our episodes. But this is going to be our 23rd episode, and we're so happy to have all of you along with us for this crazy fun ride.
That's right. Season 2 in full effect.
That's right. So, Merf, see you later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile.